I'm Brandy Stanley, and this is my presentation on the Kansas Education Systems Accreditation. We are in our second year in the KESA process at Frontenac Schools. KESA is based on the belief that the work within our first 4 R's leads to improvement or growth in the data, evidence, and artifacts that make up the 5th R, which is our results. So the 4 R's being relationships, relevance, responsive culture, and rigor. So at Frontenac, our 2 areas of focus that we've chosen are relationships and responsive culture. And we discussed, my principal and I discussed that we are probably in the transitioning phase in most of the areas on these rubrics. And in some areas we are modeling, but an area of weakness that we have is in providing data for what we're doing. So collection of data and adding that to our plan is going to be important as we move forward into our 3rd year in the accreditation process. So our focus, relationships as defined on the state website, is a state of interconnectedness among people, curricula, programs, projects, and communities. Is critical for establishing connections that result in high-performing learning environments. And then responsive culture, one that readily reacts to suggestions, influences, appeals, efforts, or opportunities, empowers all stakeholders to become respectful of, responsible for, and involved in learning, the learning process, and the learning community. Not that relevance and rigor are not important, but we felt like we had just a stronger grasp on how we were performing in those areas. So that's why we chose relationships and responsive culture as our focus. My principal's leadership style is democratic. He demonstrates this style by getting input from our faculty group or our committee groups, and the conversation is back and forth, there's discussion, and then he communicates his decisions with the group. This is why I think his style is democratic, because gathering input from the group and recognizing that their skills are important, their knowledge base is important, is really what lends me to think that it's democratic. What we discussed as far as areas for our school improvement, we've done a book study on the culture of our school as a faculty. We've also asked for faculty to name students that they feel they have a personal connection with. And then in responsive culture, when addressing this area, we've got to identify our stakeholders who may not readily come to school for our events. We need to be intentional about seeking out people of different cultures and different backgrounds and make sure that their voice is heard as well. And next steps that I would take would involve outreach programs to bring those individuals in, nights where students can show what they know, family game night, donuts with dad, muffins with mom. That's a reading initiative that I would love to do. And then looking for students who don't have strong relationships with our faculty and then layer supports for them. Then within responsive culture, I would love to include all stakeholders at our informational meetings and at our site councils, or at least a representative of multiple groups. I would like to survey parents for their input, and then provide education and support for nutrition and wellness. The standards that I feel apply are as follows: addressing matters of equity and cultural responsiveness, promoting adult student peer and school community relationships, and engaging regular, open, two-way communication with families and community about school, students' needs, problems and accomplishments, everything we do. I just really feel that that is valuable information when you're reaching out to the people that you serve. I really feel like we're in a position to serve our community in a very unique way. So I think it's important to bring family and community members in. And the elementary school and junior high will be an Apollo school in the redesign process next year. We were just approved today. Actually, it was announced. And so we will be merging essentially the KESA plan and our redesign And eventually, what we've been told is that will be the process for accreditation going forward. So as we redesign and look for better ways to serve our students, I'm excited to share what we learn. Thank you.